Baby Metal, Doki Doki Morning, live at Budokan. Let's go look at it. Hey there. So, you know that Electric Callboy and Baby Metal are about to drop a collaboration on the 25th. So, in lead up to that, I'm starting to release Electric Callboy and Baby Metal videos to give people an idea of who these bands are if you don't know already, which I'm assuming most of you do. This is Baby Metal, Doki Doki Morning, and if you've seen the original official video but not seen this live performance at Budokan Black Night, you are in for a treat. So let's give it a listen and then we'll talk about it. Here we go. you go. What did you think? I love this. And there's a couple of reasons I do love this. Now, I have seen this before, obviously. A number of Baby Metal videos that I'm going to post I have already seen. They are the reason I started this channel. So, the first reason that I like this is they rise from the center of the stage, which I think is just fantastic. It's just like the video. And that's something I want to talk about with Baby Metal. Because they do choreography, translating a video often to stage would be excruciating work, I would think. And yet they look like they pull it off effortlessly. You get and understand what's being gotten across to you through their dance moves. And that's a big part of Baby Metal's performance, is their choreography. One that I think some people overlook. When you watch Baby Metal do this, first of all, let's bring them out of the center of the stage. Now look at that. That's exquisite timing on their part. And I want you to think about something when you watch Baby Metal dance. I want you to think about Moa and Yui never looking back at Sue when they begin a dance movement. What I mean by that is when they begin the dance move here of the head banging, they don't look at each other and they don't look back at Sue to see if she's picked up at the same time they have. Everything Moa and Yui do, they have to do assuming they're in the right spot in the song. Now, that sounds simplistic, and it is in some ways, but in other ways, it's not. Some songs are going to be more complex with timing, rhythms, more difficult times because it happens. And so those are the times practice makes perfect. So think about the amount of work that goes into just the dance part of a performance. And you understand why these ladies are so loved. Because everything that they're doing, every move that they make on stage is choreographed. Even when they just run off to the sides, it's all timed. They have to be back in place on the stage where they began at a specific point in the song. I'll show you another example of that. Oh, I also want to mention another reason that I love this song in this particular venue, in this particular format, is it has a much heavier edge than the original music video and in some other live performances. And I like that because Doki Doki Morning is at heart a metal song. It just is. In spite of the tongue-in-cheek J-pop that went on in the original video, this is a metal song. So they bring it across as such in Budokan here. You hear the guitars in the background and the way that they're grinding out that sound instead of giving you that poppy guitar sound. That's more metal. And the crowd interaction is much better in Budokan. I love to watch it happen in Budokan. It's good everywhere, don't get me wrong. But in Budokan, for some reason, and probably the circular arena, you can really hear the crowd shout back to the band. Every little move, and they never look at each other. And I first noticed this in the very first video I ever saw of Baby Metal, which was Gimme Chocolate, of course. When they did the pushback, Sue does it first, and then the other two do it a beat later, and it looks awesome. And when you see that kind of choreography, married with metal, which you've loved metal all your life, or rock, hard rock all your life, then then it blows your mind. And this band has always blown my mind. There is no band on earth like Baby Metal. And think about Sue. Now, while she's performing, she's singing, she's thinking about her marks on the stage, where she's got to be, when she's got to turn and spin, because Yui and Moa have to separate and do their thing during the song. So Sue always has to know what her marks are, when she comes in, when she departs, at what point in the song does she emphasize what she's. I mean, it's more complicated than it looks. It's way more complicated, even down to the little moves like both Yui and Moa grabbing Sue's shoulder there a minute ago. They have to execute that without a mistake. They just do. Now, after 10 years together, you could see that Moa was so relaxed on stage and had been doing it for so long that there's this ability to play with it a little bit, to push the boundaries of what she was doing a little bit. But at this point, at this stage in Baby Metal's career, they had to hit everything exactly right. And it's because they're presenting a lot of this music for the first time live. And so they've got to nail it. And they do. And they did. I haven't seen a performance by Baby Metal that's subpar or that's average or that just says, okay, we'll phone it in. Here we are. They flat out put everything into it. So you see that bata bata morning, that move that Yui and Moa don't join Sue until a beat later. And then that time they had to do it together because they're going to the outro. So they got to bear that in mind. They've got to remember that during the performance, during the noise, during the band roaring behind them, during the crowd roaring in front of them, on a circular stage one night, on a straight stage, rectangular, the next night. They have to remember all this stuff when they're doing it. They have to find the space to do it, and they have to be able to do it in the best possible light. And they always do it. From the rainy, soaking wet stage at the Sonic Festival in England to a stage like this that's circular with an arena around them, and that has to be a very loud arena. In that performance, there's so much they're listening to. They've got in-ear monitors, but they are still feeling and hearing and seeing all the distractions that are possible in a performance. And so the second time, Sue turns with her. Now, why am I spending all this time on choreography? Well, because when people address this band and review it, and they talk about Baby Metal's performance, and they talk about Baby Metal's music, I don't think they understand, in some cases, the weight of what Baby Metal is doing. The skill level necessary to pull off these live performances. I have said that on my bucket list is to see Baby Metal in Japan. Why in Japan? Why not here in the United States? Well, because the first time I see them, I want to see them in an arena and a show where it's them and them alone. Because they'll put on the biggest, best show that they can. That's the first time I see them. Now, I get it. In a smaller venue, I can watch them. It's a more intimate venue, and things will be different but the same. But it's still in my heart to see them in an arena this size. I want to see them pull out all the stops because when they do, Baby Metal blows away any band on the planet. And they almost always do, no matter the size of the stage. But I'm saying stage size limits you. Venue size limits what you can do. And especially if you're choreographing everything that you do. And that's what I don't think some reactors or some, I'm not bashing reactors here, but reviewers, people out there who want to talk about Baby Metal being a pop sensation with some metal edge or something like that. None of that matters because what Baby Metal is doing is unique to music. It's unique to rock. It has changed the face of rock music forever. And don't forget, they didn't just do this yesterday. But they did do it in a vacuum. Nobody had done what they do. Nobody had combined J-pop and metal. Just hadn't been done. And then you add in choreography, to dancing to go with it. That's pretty bold. That was so bold that some people just flat out trashed them for it. Now, as time has gone by, people take Baby Metal more seriously. But you must think about an overall performance when they are performing. Everything that they're doing is taking every ounce of energy and skill that they have to execute it flawlessly night after night after night. And they do it and make it look easy. And they do it as teenagers. So there is no, in my mind, way anybody who is not living at this level can say anything about Baby Metal's performance that's derogatory. There's nothing they can't do. If they decide they want to do it, they do it. They just execute it. Right there in that choreography, 1, 2, 3. Yui Moa, then Sue. All right, so I've rambled enough, but we're going to talk a lot about Baby Metal's performance level. This is a performance reaction site. I react to performances. I'm an average musician. So my depth of musical knowledge is not like a Rick Beato or Wings of Pegasus. It goes to the performance aspect. What does it take to do what a band does? And I can speak on some level to the studio videos because I've been in the studio, but more I've been live. And I can speak to the live performance a lot easier. So Baby Metal fits this mold for me because they are a performance band. They must perform live for you to get them. And if you don't see them live, I fear, a lot of times I think that people probably hear Baby Metal and while you might love that kind of music, until you actually see them, you don't understand just how big of a band this is, just how huge what they're doing is. So I've rambled on enough. So thanks for being with me and watching this. EC and Baby Metal dropping a collaboration on the 25th. So let's get ready for that. That's going to be awfully interesting. If you're an Electric Callboy fan, you know what I mean. So I cannot wait to see this. This is the type of band I've always felt Baby Metal should be married with when doing performance. Because Electric Callboy has a great sense of humor and great stage performances when they're live. So this is going to be fun, I think. Let's keep our fingers crossed and I'll see you later, all right? All right, bye now.